So, I'm a squirrel now. Nah, I'm still a crow. Or am I a person? Who knows? Hey friends. So I haven't posted in a while. That's because I went on a side quest. Well, I was looking for a programmer to help me with the game I'm working on, which I'll make a separate video to talk about sometime soon. I reconnected with a game dev friend who asked me if I wanted to freelance making art for his upcoming project. So for the past 6 weeks or so, I worked for Reima Project to make It's Raining Acorn, which is available now on Steam. In this video, I want to talk about some of the things I learned while making this game, both from a technical perspective and from a more career/personal development oriented perspective. But first, let me show you guys the trailer real quick, so you have an idea what it's all about.
Welcome to It's Raining Acorn, a free roguelike auto bonker that sits nicely at the side of your screen. Watch acorns rain down onto your forest and all the critters below. Create the most bonkable ecosystem, and discover a ton of cool combos to maximize your points. Did that pigeon just lay an egg after getting bonked by an acorn? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how nature works. Your forest runs all on its own while you do tasks or avoid doing them. It's okay, the squirrels won't judge. So what are you waiting for? Play now for free.
Yeah, that's my voice pitched up. So let's start with the elephant in the room. These really cool talking avatars. They're definitely more limited than a VTuber model, but they're super simple to make and a lot of fun to do. Which is why I'm hosting a giveaway to make one of these for you guys for free. Stick around to the end of the video to see how to participate. So to break it down, these are just 4 images with mouth open and closed variations, and if you're feeling fancy, eyes open and blinking variations. You plug this into the Viato tube? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and not sponsored, as usual. And the program uses your mic to detect whether you're talking or not, and the blink is set to random intervals. If you're thinking about drawing one of these for yourselves, one of my tips is for the mouth open variation. You can drop the jaw a little bit since the mouth opening pushes it down, so it'll look more dynamic and believable. For my Joker avatar, I actually have 2 sets of 4, for when Joe is talking and when Crow is talking, with some minor tweaks to the eyes to make them look to or away from the camera. So there's some fun stuff that you can do with the program if you're creative. I'd put a link in the description if you want to check it out and read more about how it works and what you can do with it, but the avatars I'm using in this video should give you a pretty good idea. And again, giveaway at the end of the video if you want to participate and win one of these from me. Besides the character sprites, I also had to try my hand at drawing the UI for this game, and that's when my colleagues taught me about 9 slicing, which was confusing at first but blew my mind. I've linked a video in the description of a much more comprehensive explanation. But basically, you know how if you stretch an image, some of the parts get pixelated, especially the parts that are curved? 9 slicing fixes that by cutting the image into 9 pieces. So for example, this text box, it would have 4 pieces for the corners, 4 pieces for the vertical and horizontal lines, and 1 piece for the center. In Unity, the corners will stay the same, then the horizontal lines and vertical lines will only stretch in one direction, keeping the line thickness the same, while the middle will be stretched in all directions to fill the space. But since it's solid colored and it's rectangular, it doesn't get distorted or pixelated. It's really useful because I could just make one text box asset, and Unity could stretch or shrink it to fit whatever text we wanted to put on top. Shapes like this can also be 9 sliced, though only horizontally. Another thing I learned while making UI is the importance of giving players a clear impression of what they can interact with versus what they can't. Take these for example. Which ones do you think are buttons you can click on and which ones aren't? I made these ones on the right first, and when I ran them by my friends, they both thought they were buttons. And looking back, chances are that you and players might think they're buttons too instead of currency icons. I think the more dimension you give with shades and highlights, the more clickable UI looks. And when in doubt, run it by some friends to see what they think and what your potential players might think. Besides learning new techniques, tools, and skills, my colleagues also shared some neat references that are super useful for any kind of game you want to make. Looking for references for your game UI? Check out GameUIDatabase.com. It covers a lot of games across different styles and platforms, and you don't need to go into the games and screenshot them on your own anymore. Don't know what kind of assets you need to prepare for your Steam page, aka capsule? Check out this blog post by Noble Steed Games. Wonder how your capsule art will look at different sizes? Look at this new preview tool on Steamworks. Now let's talk about some of the non-technical stuff I learned while working on this project. First is that this experience really showed me how being on a team can push you to create some of your best work. Look at how my drawings for our key art, which is the art for our Steam page, developed. At the beginning, I was definitely still playing around in my comfort zone, but my team pushed me to draw a more dynamic pose and play around with perspective, which made the final product a lot better. It took a lot of trial and error, but after this experience, I'm much more confident and open to drawing with more perspective, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. The other lesson I learned is how showing your work, even if you're not super proud of it, can lead you to new opportunities. Remember Hungry Cat? I have another video on this channel which talks about it if you haven't seen it. But basically, it's a game I made that I drew and coded myself, since I wanted to try my hand at programming. What I ended up learning is that I don't love programming, but art and story are my jam. Anyway, when I reconnected with my game dev friend over dinner, I showed him Hungry Cat, which he was super polite and encouraging about, by the way. I'd worked with him probably 7 years ago, and after playing around in the game a little bit, he said, "Wow, your art has gotten a lot better. I'm actually planning to start a new game project with this kind of style. Would you be interested in freelancing?" And here I am. I had no idea that making Hungry Cat would lead to this gig, but if I hadn't made it and braved myself to show it to my friend, you'd probably be watching a very different video. The last thing I wanted to share is how helpful it was to keep a timesheet. Since I was freelancing and was paid hourly, I kept a simple timesheet with the date, highlight of what activity I did, and how many hours I spent on it with a running total at the top. Surprisingly, having this timesheet really helped keep me accountable and feel accomplished at the end of the day. I've actually started keeping my own timesheet while working on my own game, even though I'm the only person I'm reporting to. I'm the kind of person that always feels like I'm not doing enough, so having an objective look back on the time spent working on my game helps with that. And on the stretches of time where I haven't worked on my project as much as I'd like, I can reflect on what's keeping me away and feel more in control of how I can manage those days in the future. I hope some of this stuff was useful for you guys. There are honestly tons of little things that I also picked up, but if I listed them all in this video, it would be way too long. I think the key takeaway is that if you want to do something, you can learn a lot by doing the thing you want to do. And all of those little things you pick up over time are what builds your expertise. So get started and grab the opportunities that you can. On that note, since I had a ton of fun making this avatar for the trailer, and my avatar for this channel, I want to make one for you guys so that you can use it in your creative endeavors too. If you want a chance to win a free avatar, follow these steps on screen, and in a few weeks, I'll announce the winner on my new social media account. I'm thinking of posting stuff there more frequently than on my YouTube channels, since I only post full videos here. And if you're interested, check out the game It's Raining Acorn on Steam. It's free to play, and it would really be cool if you could leave a review too. Alright, that's all for me. Thanks friends! Hope you all have a great day or night, wherever you are.